Good morning. Today we are going to learn the lesson World Heritage. The lesson is about World Heritage Sites. Title of the lesson World Heritage Sites. World Heritage. Title of the lesson is World Heritage. The lesson is a collection of information, or it's only information about World Heritage. Please open your books at page number 75. World Heritage. Look at the very first paragraph. A World Heritage Site is a site determined by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO to have significant cultural or natural importance to humanity. As such, the sites are protected and maintained by the International World Heritage Program, which is administered by the UNESCO World Heritage Committee. Because World Heritage Sites are places that are significant culturally and naturally, they vary in type and include forests, lakes, monuments, buildings, and cities. Now I will explain the paragraph line by line. A World Heritage Site is a site determined by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, that is UNESCO. UNESCO is a short form of United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. And what is World Heritage Site? In the beginning of the lesson, meaning of World Heritage Site has been explained. World Heritage Site means it is determined. UNESCO decides which site is a World Heritage Site and which site is not a World Heritage Site. There are some criterias, there are some basis, some things, some conditions. The site must fulfill those conditions. Afterward, a particular site will be included in the category of World Heritage Site. To have significant cultural or natural importance to humanity. The site which is very important to humanity, culturally or naturally, both of them can be included in this category. As such, the sites are protected and maintained by the International World Heritage Program, which is administered by the UNESCO World Heritage Committee. Because World Heritage Sites are places that are significant culturally and naturally. I was talking about that. They vary in type. Now, World Heritage Sites are places that are significant. Significant means important, very important, culturally and naturally. Culture, tradition, way of living, it can be called as culture. Culture means way of living. That is our language, our clothing, our what we say relationships, interrelationships, all those things, marriage systems, family systems, independent families or dependent families. Many things can be included in this term culture. And naturally, they vary. Vary means VARY. Vary means different in type and include forests, lakes, monuments, buildings, and cities. There are many varieties in this thing, that is World Heritage Sites. There are forests, Forests are very important to maintain the balance of environment. Lakes, monuments. Monuments means many constructions are there, tombs, buildings, forts, okay, buildings and cities as well. Cities also can be included in World Heritage Site if that city meets all the criteria, if that city fulfills all the conditions of to become World Heritage Site. The city can be included in this category. Okay. Next paragraph. World Heritage Sites can also be a combination of both cultural and natural areas. For example, Mount Hangshan in China is a site with significant to human culture because it played a role in historical Chinese art and literature. The mountain is also significant because of its physical landscape characteristics. Now, in this paragraph, I will explain line by line. World Heritage Sites can also be a combination of both cultural and natural areas. In the beginning, it is told that a World Heritage Site can be natural or cultural, and here it is said that World Heritage Site can be cultural and natural both. It can be a combination of culture and nature. For example, there is example Mount Hangshan in China. Mount Hangshan is the name of the mountain in China or neighboring country. Is a site with significance to human culture because it played a role in historical Chinese art and literature. Now, Mount Hangshan played very important role in Chinese art and Chinese culture, Chinese literature. How? Now, the literature means any written documentary, okay, can be called as a literature, or inner and outer world, expression of inner and outer world can be called as a literature. Now, many authors, Chinese authors, referred Mount Hangshan in their literature, in poems, in novels, in dramas, in prose, and some other literature, in some other type of literature. That is why it is said that Mount Hangshan played a very important role in Chinese art, culture, literature. The mountain is also significant. Here the word significant, it means important because of its physical landscape characteristics. The mountain is very beautiful, wonderful, amazing as it looks. Now, second number part, very first introduction. Now, history of World Heritage Site. History of World Heritage Sites. The lesson has been divided into some parts. Very first part, introduction. Now, history of World Heritage Sites. Although the idea of protecting cultural and natural heritage sites around the world began in the, please come on next paper, next page, page number 76. Early 20th century, momentum for its actual creation was not until 1950s. In 1954, Egypt started plans to build the Aswan High Dam to collect and control water from the Nile River. The initial plan for the dam's construction would have flooded the valley containing the Abu Simbel temples, and the scores of ancient Egyptian artifacts. To protect the temples and artifact, UNESCO launched an international campaign in 1959 that called for the dismantling and movement of the temples to higher ground. The project cost an estimated US $80 million, and 40 million of which came from 50 different countries. Because of the project's success, UNESCO and the International Council on Monuments and Sites initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. Now, look at this paragraph. I will explain line by line. History of World Heritage Sites. Although the idea of protecting cultural and natural heritage sites around the world began in the early 20th century, this idea, protecting cultural and natural heritage, this idea around the world began in the early 20th century, means after 1901 plus afterwards. Momentum for its actual creation was not until 1950s, but actually the work started in the year of 1950s. Then what has happened in that year? In 1954, Egypt started plans to build the Aswan High Dam. We know the country, there is a country named Egypt. Egypt decided to build dam, Aswan High Dam. Why? To collect and control water from the Nile River. In the country of Egypt, there is a very famous, popular river, that is a Nile River. Nile River is the longest river in the world, and Amazon in America second. In terms of width, Amazon River in America is the first. In terms of length, Nile River is the first in the world, which is in Egypt. The country Egypt decided to build Aswan Dam to manage the water from Nile River. The initial plan for the dam's construction would have flooded the valley containing the Abu Simbel temples and scores of ancient Egyptian artifacts. Initially, Egypt had made a plan, but according to that plan, many ancient artifacts, Abu Simbel temples would have flooded, would have destroyed because of Aswan Dam. That is why to protect artifacts means objects, monuments, scores of means plenty of, many, much in number. To protect the temples and artifacts, UNESCO launched an international campaign in 1959 that called for the dismantling and movement of the temples to higher ground. Now, dismantling, pulling down. Now, because of that particular danger, UNESCO decided to save that artifact, scores of ancient Egyptian artifacts. That is why UNESCO launched an international campaign when 1959 that called for dismantling, pulling down. Dismantling means pulling down. and movement of the temples to a higher ground. Means UNESCO decided to raise uh, temples, artifacts to a higher level, higher ground, that those will be safe from the flood or the water of Aswan High Dam. Uh, the project cost an estimated US dollar 80 million. UNESCO required 80 million American dollars. American dollar. Now Indian, as far as Indian currency is concerned, one American dollar is equal to more than 70 rupees, around 70 to 80 rupees. Yes, it's very valuable. How countries are working at the international level, how they powerful, how export and import they are doing with the rest of the countries. Many things can be included, by which the value of currency can be decided. Out of US dollar 80 million, US dollar 40 million of which came from 50 different countries. Actually, UNESCO required 80 million US dollars, and half of the money, 50 different countries donated, given US dollar 40 million. Means now only 40 millions were remaining. It was a very great success. Remember, collecting US dollar 40 million is not a joke. But as everyone is knowing the importance of World Heritage Site, many countries, around 50 countries, decided to donate the money to UNESCO for preserving, for saving those artifacts which were located in the country of Egypt. Because of the project success, actually project was very successful. That is why UNESCO and the International Council on Monuments and Sites initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. Listen, this was the beginning. There was a great success. UNESCO achieved very great success. 50 countries, 50 different countries donated 40 million US dollars. It was a great success for UNESCO. That is why they decided to form a committee, an organization through which they can control money, they can collect money and spend on saving historical monuments, World Heritage Sites as well. And the International Council on Monuments and Sites initiated a draft. Initiated means introduced a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. They decided to form an organization which will look after all the World Heritage Sites in the present world. Next paragraph. Shortly thereafter, in 1965, a White House conference in the United States called for a World Heritage Trust to protect historic cultural sites, but to also protect the world's significant natural and scenic sites. Finally, in 1968, the International Union for Conservation of Nature developed similar goals and presented them at the United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden, 1972. Following the presentation of these goals, the Convention concerning the protection of world cultural and natural heritage was adopted by UNESCO's General Conference on November 16, 1972. Now, I will explain line by line this paragraph. Shortly thereafter, when UNESCO decided to set up an organization which will look after World Heritage Sites. Shortly thereafter, in 1965, a White House conference, White House in the country of USA, there is White House conference in the United States called for a World Heritage Trust. Now, a White House conference in the United States, they called a World Heritage Trust. Why? For what purpose? There is a purpose given here. To protect historic cultural sites, but to also protect the world's significant natural and scenic sites. Means to protect World Heritage Sites which are located in many countries in the world, in the existing world. Okay, finally, in 1968, the International Union for Conservation of Nature developed similar goals. In 1968, what happened? There is an organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature. They also developed similar goals. Which goals? Are to form World Heritage Trust. Okay, and presented them at the United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden. And International Union Conservation of Nature, they developed similar ideas, similar draft. They presented it before United Nations Conference, which was held in the country of Sweden and the city Stockholm. Stockholm is the name of the city which is located in Sweden. Sweden is one of the European countries. When in 1972, following the presentation of these goals, the Convention concerning the protection of world cultural and natural heritage was adopted by UNESCO's General Conference on November 16, 1972. That is why after many happenings, after the initiative of many international organizations, UNESCO's General Conference adopted protection of world cultural and natural heritage when on November 16, 1972. Some more information. Only you have to focus on the happenings one by one. Which thing happened first, which thing happened later, you should remember that. There is a reference of numbers, that is years, and on those particular years many things happened. You should focus on incidents, happenings and years. Now next number part, the World Heritage Committee, page number same 76. The World Heritage Committee. Now, today the World Heritage Committee is the main group responsible for establishing which sites will be listed as UNESCO World Heritage Site. The committee meets once a year and consists of representatives from 21 state parties that are elected for 6-year terms by the World Heritage Center's General Assembly. The state parties are then responsible for identifying and nominating new sites within the territory to be considered for inclusion on the World Heritage List. Now, I will explain line by line. Today, the World Heritage Committee is the main group responsible. There is organization, committee World Heritage Committee. It is a main body which is responsible for establishment setup, found, establishing which sites will be listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. World Heritage Committee can decide which site we have to include in the category of World Heritage Site. This committee meets means there is a meeting of this committee once a year and consists of representatives. Representatives means members from 21 state parties that are elected for 6-year terms by the World Heritage Center's General Assembly. There are 21 state parties that are elected for 6-year terms. Their period of working is 6 years by the World Heritage Center's General Assembly. General Assembly elects those 21 members. The state parties are then responsible for 21 state parties. Okay. The state parties are then responsible for identifying, nominating new sites within their territory to be considered for inclusion on the World Heritage List. Now, these 21 state parties are responsible for identifying, means detecting, determining, deciding and nominating new sites within their territory. Territory means region within the borders of the country. Territory to be considered for inclusion on the World Heritage List means state parties is the main body which works actually and which identifies, nominates new sites within their territory to be included for inclusion on the World Heritage List. Okay. Remaining part of the lesson we will continue in next video as it is becoming somewhat large.